All right, enough Arsenal. How about some quick hits instead?
Let's go, guys.
Nottingham Forest and Liverpool battle to a 1-1 draw. Jules, the Marinakis Mavericks are not going away.
I love that. Is that from you?
I just came up with it now. And I saw a video of him in the tunnel, kind of like high-fiving the players that came in. Yeah. He was not spitting. He was not coughing. Wonderful.
You know what? The worst thing that could have happened to Liverpool on that game was that Forest would score early. And guess what? They scored early. I can't believe the goal they scored because I think there's no way Wood should score that. I think Alisson has to save it. Van Dijk has to be better positioned. That Liverpool.
You're not picking on Trent, even though he comes from that
Trent,
side.
But Robertson even more on the Elanga. He's so far from Elanga. It was a terrible goal to concede, and after that, it was literally attack v defense pretty much. And Liverpool had enough chances to win this. Jota with his first touch equalizing like 5 seconds after coming on. Okay,
he should probably be starting that guy.
Yeah, he should have. And yeah, it's one that I think Liverpool will look at. Okay, we didn't lose, but really on another day, 23 shots away from home against the team that's second in the table.
I think the performance means you're still confident.
Yeah,
and you have the game in hand.
You could easily have won that. Yeah. A Reece James free kick deep in injury time allows Chelsea to escape with a point at home to Bournemouth. Gab, not that I'm counting, but it's 5 games now without winning the league for Maresca and Chelsea.
It is. I think performance does matter. I was disappointed by Bournemouth. I went to the first half of this game.
Yeah.
And then I rushed home to so I could watch Liverpool, obviously. I thought they played really, really well.
I agree.
And then things went wrong. Caicedo should not be giving away penalties like that. I thought Iraola, he made a really brave choice early on. He took off the right back, Hill, something like that,
Hill,
Benny, and sent on Clivert. All of a sudden, it's like a 4-1-5 press machine type thing. Lewis Cook moved to right back. That didn't quite work, although in the second half, I thought the level really dropped.
Chelsea have the tendency of doing that. The second halves, we saw that against Fulham as well. Very good in the first half, and then second half, they are more difficult.
Robert Sanchez, you've been on the Jorgensen bandwagon for a long time.
From a long time.
Yeah, I think the guy's a little bit of an issue. And by the way, so we need to mention the Brooks Cucurella thing.
Yeah.
Early in the game, Brooks goes down for 3 minutes after clash with Cucurella. I don't know exactly. I think Brooks was getting revenge. And good for Brooks because he's a little tiny, he's a little Welsh guy,
wizard, yeah.
A little Welsh boy, and he's got no fear about the Medusa hair, Cucurella. Barcelona stomp all over Betis 5-1 in the Copa del Rey. Oh, by the way, sorry, I forgot. Some love for Reece James?
Yeah, absolutely. Coming back from injury, great free kick.
Yeah, and let's not make any jokes about when he's going to get hurt again, okay?
Yeah. No, let's hope for him.
Christian Norgaard's injury time equalizer allows Brentford to battle from 2 goals down at home to snatch a 2-2 draw against City. Jules, nice to see Foden score.
Yeah.
But this team does not look right, does it?
Not at all. Gab, the unbalanced again. The fact that they collapsed completely. I mean, defensively, they had struggled. And Bournemouth didn't score in this game. But, I mean, he troubled them so much.
He looks like Romario when he plays against them.
He looks like Messi. They just could not stop Brentford attacking. And yeah, Foden scored 2 goals. Not the best of goals. Haaland had that header. But even with the ball, I thought at times they just didn't look right. No control. Not really anything in terms of ball movement. I thought it was disappointing from them. But at least just you're in a position to win. Make sure you win this game.
Yeah. I think if you're Pep, you're really angry about
definitely.
This. Alexander Isak bags 2 goals as Newcastle destroy Wolves 3-0. Jules, 9 wins in a row for Eddie Howe.
Yeah, it's a club record. Never in the history of Newcastle Football Club. They've won 9 in a row in all competitions. It's 8 games in a row now in the Premier League where Alexander Isak scores, getting closer to the record of Jamie Vardy of 11. Outstanding. And yeah, towards the second half, they kind of controlled, they played deeper, they left the ball to Wolves who could have scored 1, maybe even 2 goals. So it was not perfect from Newcastle at all. But for Isak to have 2 goals and an assist and playing so well.
And as you pointed out off air, the next 3 games.
Yeah, Bournemouth, Southampton and Fulham. Before they play City, Forest and Liverpool back-to-back. So it gets tougher.
Ollie Watkins scores the only goal to spoil Davy Moyes' debut at Everton. I know you're all bent out of shape about that. And give Aston Villa the 3 points.
Yeah, big win for them, up to 7th now in the table for David Moyes. David Moyes, he will have to do miracles. We know that anyway. this was probably a bit too early against a really good team. I'm just not sure how David Moyes can change this Everton team is not scoring.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin. No, okay, sorry.
He hasn't scored for 16 games in a row, I think, which is.
I think he's been injured for another 30.
It's terrible. I mean, good luck to Moyes and to Everton because I think they will need it. Gav, the Premier League released a list of clubs who had broken profit and sustainability rules, the PSR, on Tuesday. Who got punished?
Oh, you want to know who got punished?
Yeah,
Who's getting those points penalties?
Nobody!
Nobody!
Hey, well
Everybody's
done.
good. You've all come in underneath the limit. This does not mean that they're entirely off the hook for those clubs like Chelsea, for example, who are, of course, will have to face UEFA's version.
Yeah.
And the understanding of people who know more about this than I do is that UEFA does not allow intergroup transactions, like, for example, hypothetically, selling the women's team to yourself or selling yourself a hotel. The Premier League does. But yeah, no, they all came in. And whatever you think of this is good because this means, when we talked about deflation, this means costs are coming down and the business becomes more sustainable.
Yeah. The Times report that Chelsea are negotiating a financial settlement with the Premier League, Gabby, to avoid a points penalty in the case of Roman Abramovich illegal payments to agents in the Willian and Samuel Eto'o deals in the past. Does that sound fair to you? And maybe just recap the story for people who have forgotten.
So this has to do with stuff that happened nearly a decade ago. The transfers of Willian and Samuel Eto'o from who they were at Anji Makachkala, I believe. And apparently some payments left Chelsea and made their way into accounts, which it's not clear how they're related to the players or to the clubs. The implication is that these were orchestrated by the clubs to make the deals happen and maybe use a slush fund, hide away money. This is very serious. It's a very serious charge.
And Bluco found out about it when they bought the club and saw the books.
This is exactly the thing. Bluco, Taboli, Bedad, Ebali. When these guys went, they did due diligence about the club. They said, "Uh-oh, we think something bad's here."
What's this?
So they held back 150 million, which is probably more than they needed to hold back from the payment price, and they reported it. They reported it to UEFA and to the Premier League. With UEFA, they reached a settlement. The UEFA said, "All right, thank you for reporting this. You could have kept it hidden from us, but you reported it, so we're going to fine you." I think it was 10 million euros, something like that. I assume it's going to take something different from the Premier. It's going to be roughly the same for the Premier League.
Yeah.
It seems fair to me. It doesn't seem fair to me to punish the new owners.
I agree.
It's kind of like if you buy a house and you go and you find drugs in the house and you report it to the police. I mean, are you held liable?
No, it's right.
So I don't think. There are many things that you can have a go at Todd Bowley for. This is not one.
No.
He did the right thing here, and I think this would be a very reasonable settlement. My question would be: why does everything take so freaking long with lawyers and stuff?
Yeah, definitely.
They reached a deal with UEFA, like a year and a half ago, it feels
Yeah.
like? Jurgen Klopp had his first press conference as boss of the Red Bull group, the football side of it. I don't think he quite gets involved in the Formula One. He had something to say about Manchester City's 115 charges and what happens if they're found guilty.
It was great, Gab. He was very happy to be there, explain again his choice and why he took the job and blah, 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 all of that. He talked also a bit individually about all the Red Bull clubs in the galaxy, all of that. It was good. And then obviously he was asked about Liverpool and he talked about Mo Salah, for example, about also Virgil and Trent. And he said about the Man City charges, he said that if the titles were stripped by the sanctions that they might receive, then he will organize this big party in Mallorca in his house where he said, I would invite everyone, everybody could come, and I would throw this massive party to celebrate.
He's invited all the Scousers, all the Liverpool fans in the world.
We could all go there, turn up. He said, I'll bring the beers. And then we'll
Not the Red Bull.
Oh, some Red Bull maybe. For
those who don't drink?
Yeah, for those who don't drink, like me. Because obviously amongst those titles that would be stripped, Liverpool finished second a lot of the season, a lot of the time. Then I guess we'll be the champions.
And it's not schadenfreude here because, like I reiterate this, if they are found guilty and there's going to be the judgment and there's going to be an appeal and so on, if it's undoubtedly shown that they've been found guilty, Liverpool are one of the most damaged parties here.
Yeah, absolutely.